Well, good evening, Sagar. How are you?
Good evening, sir. I'm great. What about you?
Yeah, we are also doing well. I am doing well. Afpa is also doing well. And what a pleasure. The merit NDA 148 merit list came out day before yesterday. So, what's your ranking, Sagar?
Sir, I got All India rank 135.
135. That's very good. That's really very good. And I suppose you know that we had, Afpa candidates about 72 of them. It is not 71. One more fellow informed us yesterday that
Yes, sir.
that he also got recommended, but he never informed earlier. वो होता है कुछ बच्चों के मन में मेरिट में आ जाए फिर बताएंगे कोई बात नहीं
Yes, sir.
तो
Yes.
we know the merit list is out so he's also made it so so there are about 72 of you who will be joining the NDA Naval Academy. That's wonderful.
Yes,
So
sir.
Sagar, let us talk a little more about let us first talk about your background. You come from Delhi, I know this. So what's your
Yes,
father
sir.
doing?
Sir, my father is a sub-inspector in Delhi Police from last 22 years.
Oh, excellent. So he is a sub-inspector in Delhi Police, and now your first choice is Army, I suppose.
Yes, sir.
So you will be joining the Army now, and very good, wonderful. What a combination! Both father son in uniform and son doing better. Excellent. So
Yes,
when
sir.
did you when you told them about your recommendation? How did they feel hearing this?
Sir, firstly, I wasn't able to express my feelings to them. I was literally shivering on the phone when I called them. But somehow I conveyed my message to them, and they were very happy. They believed in me that if I will make it into the conference, I will surely get recommended.
Excellent. And I remember, I think when you were in Afpa, you came to me with this mark. You said, "Sir, I have this mark. Does it
Yes, sir.
affect
Yes,
the tests?"
yes,
So
sir. I also remember.
yeah, so I don't think it really matters. Medical
No,
हो
sir.
गया होगा.
Yes, sir. Everything's fine. I'm fit to go.
So let us now talk about which attempt was this for you?
Sir, this was my fourth attempt.
Fourth attempt. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And what happened the previous three attempts?
Sir, previously thrice I went for the technical entry, and unfortunately I was screened out thrice.
Okay. And then you came to Afpa.
Yes, sir. And then I joined Afpa, and the results are in front of you.
Okay. Okay. That's wonderful.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So tell me the whole journey. I mean, this was your fourth attempt. It obviously means, three times you went for the technical entry. It obviously means that you did not clear the NDA written examination
Yes,
earlier.
sir.
Yeah. So क्या दिक्कत आई है? मतलब you studied in CBSE school.
Yes, sir.
So why you were not able to clear the NDA written examination?
Sir, actually, before this examination, I was not following a planned approach. I was not having a systematic approach. I was losing marks more in the negative. I still remember in the NDA 147, I lost 43 marks in the negative marking, and I was not able to make to the examination by just 4 marks. So, sir,
Oh,
this time I made my approach. I calculated all the topics, and that's why and worked hard really this time, and finally I was able to clear the examination.
so what was that new approach that you followed? Let the viewers of this video understand what is the right approach that you followed.
Sir, actually, in the NDA examination, there are some topics mainly in maths which carry more weightage as compared to others. So basically, we have to focus more on them. We have to utilize the time in doing the questions which we have the strong base about which we have. So first of all, we should focus. We should have those 50 questions which we know we can attempt in the given time. So first of all, we should tick those questions and then attempt as maximum as we can. So this was the approach which I followed this time, and it really worked, sir.
So if you can tell me 5 topics which has the highest weightage in mathematics.
Sir, in mathematics, trigo is the most important, and apart
Trigonometry.
from that, yes, sir, trigonometry, and then we have statistics and probability. Then we have differential calculus and algebra part. These 5 topics are the main. So if we have strong base about these 5 topics, I'm sure one could easily clear the maths cutoff.
Okay. And what was your strategy for the GAT?
Sir, having a PCM background, I basically focused more on the physics chemistry portion. Apart from that, having studied in an English medium school, my English I know was quite well. I could easily have attempt 40 plus questions with good attempt. So I think English was not a major problem for me. So I focused more on physics, chemistry, and for the general knowledge part, I focused on more on geography and current affairs because history and polity carry very less weightage as compared to others. So I focused more on them so that I could attempt maximum questions from them.
And how much were you expecting? How much are you expecting in 148 NDA written examination that you have cleared?
So I'm expecting somewhere around 430 to 440 marks.
Oh, that's good. That's a good score. Okay, that's very good. Okay, this time 148, even from the Mission NDA batch, you know that we have small number of Mission NDA students. Seven of them cleared the written tests this time.
Okay.
And out of them, one has already cleared for 147. He's with you. He'll be joining with you. He has AAR 37 or India ranking 37. Mahavir Bafna, I'm sure you must have interacted with him when you were here.
Yes, sir. Yes.
He's got 37th rank, so he'll also be joining the NDA. That's wonderful to hear this. And so 3 times you got screened out from the TES entry, and then you cleared your NDA written examination, and then you came to Afpa. Tell me, 3 बार you could not clear the screening. Afpa में आके तुम screening भी हो गया और conferencing भी हो गया और merit में भी आ गया. ऐसा क्या? I mean, what do you see was the real value addition that you went through here?
Sir, the major part which I was lacking was the discussion part. I was not able to take this, part in the discussion. I was able to make very good stories. Narration was also good, but in the fish market situation, I was left nowhere. So the major boost which I got after joining AFPA was my discussion fear was removed. After having a number of discussions as we have in AFPA, there are 6 PPTT sessions and a number of group discussions. So the fear of discussion was removed from my mind. So now even if there are 20 to 30 people, still I can keep my point in the front of group. So this was the major factor which helped me clear this screening this time.
Okay, that's really good. Nice to hear that. And how about the other 3 actual tests? I mean, the stage 2 testing, GTO, Psych, and the interview. So let us talk about interview. How was your interview? How do you read? How do you think it went? Any problems that you faced? Any question that was tricky that you could not answer?
Sir, talking about the interview, my interview lasted for about 35 to 40 minutes. But during those 40 minutes, I wasn't even nervous for a little bit of second. Having given interview to Sir Sanjeev Koswade sir, I was really confident about the interview. So knowing about one mistake, which was majorly about the information, the knowledge part. So I basically focused on my knowledge part, as you have you always constantly told us that knowledge is the major factor which help us clear the SSB. So I majorly concentrated on the knowledge portion. So interview as such, there wasn't any problem. I could easily sail through it. The assessor tried to make pressure on me. He constantly asked me about my weaknesses. 4 times he asked me about my weaknesses, but I answered him boldly and he was satisfied by my answer.
So what are your weaknesses?
So that I have already told them. The weaknesses, as we have been told there, the weaknesses should be those which we can be improved in a span of about 20 to 30 days. So we have to, if we know that we are having weaknesses, so we should first focus on how to improve those weaknesses. So weaknesses should not remain weaknesses for long duration of time. So that is what the major factor is. If we are having weaknesses and we know them, so we should focus on how to overcome those weaknesses. And that weaknesses should be able to be cured in about a span of 20 to 30 days. Then only we can have a good officer-like quality.
Very good. That's wonderful. So then coming to the psych test, how do you think it benefited being in Afpa? Did it benefit you anyway?
Yes, sir. I was having problem regarding psych test only because earlier I found it difficult to perceive the picture. I was able to realize what's there in the background, but I was not able to come up with good ideas. As Ashok sir every time told us that stories can be made on a general topic. Anyone can make a story, but we have to highlight the high level stories from every picture. So the 6 PPDT sessions and a number of TAT sessions which we had focused made me realize how to highlight the high level ideas from a picture. नॉर्मल स्टोरी तो सर सब बना लेते हैं, लेकिन हर पिक्चर में से जो एक हाई लेवल आइडिया जो आपको रिफ्लेक्ट करता है ग्रुप में, वो आइडिया आप कैसे ब्रिंग आउट करते हो सर, ये एक इम्पोर्टेंट चीज थी एंड आफ्पा हैज रियली टोल्ड मी.
That's good. Okay. See, again, for you to conceive a high level story, you need to have knowledge. You should know what is happening in and around you. If you make a good story based on your observation, based on your readings, based on what you see in the TV, so those things add up to writing a good, meaningful stories. Simple stories to koi bhi bana dega, right?
Yes.
That's good. That's wonderful. So tell me, after you go back, I always say that once you go back from Afpa, you need to sit down and read a little bit, think of 5-6 themes on every image that you come across, 5-6 high-level themes, research about it in the internet, and then write a story. Did you do anything of that sort, or?
Yes, sir. I followed the exact same strategy. I took out a picture. I made 5 to 6 stories on a same picture. So this broadened my mind. I was quite sure if whatever picture comes, I would surely able to make a good story on that.
See, ultimately, it is your awareness that is going to, show up in your imagination and in your story. That's wonderful, right? And how about VAT, SRT? Generally, यहाँ पे आफ्पा में रहते VAT और SRT तो आप लोगों का ठीक हो ही जाता है, समझ में आ जाता है कि कैसे लिखना है, क्या लिखना है, and it's not very difficult to learn. So you also practice for VAT after you went back home?
Yes, sir. Sir, the only problem which I had in the psych test was about TAT. VAT and SRT, I knew I was having quite good command over it. But for having more good strategy, I practiced VAT a lot. As your book contains about 300 words, which you already told that there are only limited words which are the SSB shows you. So I practiced about 3 to 4 sentences on all the 300 words. So I was having literally 1,000 sentences. So that was not kind of a problem for me.
Obviously, and they must be your own sentences, and that is the reason why we don't give you stories written by us, or we don't give you sentences written by us, because that is not going to reflect your OLQs. It is going to reflect somebody else, and that is where that leads to inconsistency, and that is why we don't give, and that's why we push it hard on you that you must go back and understand the concept, principles, and then practice. You have to work hard. लोग सोचते हैं कि हाँ कोचिंग में चले गया तो मैं पास हो जाऊंगा, ऐसे तो हो नहीं सकता ना बेटा.
नहीं सर, ऐसे
जो मेहनत करता है, जो चीजों को समझ के अपना एफर्ट डालता है, वो पास होगा. जो नहीं करेगा वो रह जाएगा. As simple as that. Coaching is not some miracle कि कोचिंग ले लिया तो पास हो जाएगा. That can only show you the right path, and we can only show you the direction, and you will have to put in that effort in that manner. You have done it, so you are here. That's wonderful.
Yes,
and how about the GTO technique? Any problem you faced in the GTO test?
No, sir. GTO test also went very smoothly. All I remembered were the 4 Guru mantras you told. Applied it everywhere I was having any problem. I applied the Guru mantras, and I was easily able to sail through all the tasks of the GTO, especially the ground task.
Yeah, and again, ये कोई ठीक है, you people call it as Guru mantra, ठीक है, but then क्या है? These are 4 simple logical steps to problem solving, and if you practice those 4 logical steps of any problem solving, you will definitely get the solutions. Where is the problem? कोई rocket science थोड़ी ना है. It's a very simple technique, and it is not very difficult to learn. That's wonderful. So all the 3 tests went off well for you. And how long were you waiting outside the conference hall before you were called inside?
Sir, actually I was the only fresher in our group, stage 2 fresher basically. So before my turn came, everybody's conference literally lasted for about 2 to 3 minutes only. So I was chest number 10 So when chest number 9 came out of the conference hall, so about 5 minutes later I was called, and my conference lasted for about 10 to 15 minutes. So there I got, yeah, कुछ तो बात है sir.
क्या हुआ मतलब what was asked in the
Sir,
conference?
बेसिकली नॉर्मल क्वेश्चंस पूछे थे असेसर्स ने कि हाउ, मतलब बेसिकली जो हम सबको पता ही होता है कि कॉन्फ्रेंस में हाउ वाज योर स्टे and what have you learned from the last 5 days procedure, how many friends have you made, and what all advice would you like to give to others, who all will you think will get recommended from your group, all these simple questions.
Okay, so there were no situations and all given to you, right?
No sir.
So it means, okay, fine, there must have been a consensus between the three assessors. And at any stage you were asked whether you took any coaching?
Yes sir, the interviewer asked me about it.
So what did you tell them?
Sir, I
What
answered
did
him
you tell them?
bold. Yes sir, I answered him boldly that I went to Armed Forces Preparatory Academy because I wanted to have a planned approach for the SSB. I don't want to lose my chance as I was losing from the last 3 attempts. So I wanted to have full preparation, and that's why I went to the Armed Forces Preparatory Academy, and I answered him boldly.
Any further questions on that?
No sir, he was satisfied, and then he changed the topic and continued.
And you went to which board, Sagar?
The 32 SSB Kapurthala.
So that's it. I mean, I always, मैं आप लोगों को बताता हूँ हर बार जो भी बैच यहाँ आता है, मैं वीडियो में भी बोलता हूँ, देखो बेटा झूठ नहीं बोलना किसी चीज को लेकर.
Yes sir.
और अगर आपने गाइडेंस लिया है तो कोई चोरी तो की नहीं ना. और गाइडेंस लिया है तो लिया है भाई, पाप थोड़ी कर दिया कोई. और
Yes sir.
you know, Afpa doesn't give you any shortcuts. It doesn't tell you to mask your personality. It doesn't. In fact, it puts more pressure on you to work in the right direction. You know, use your time constructively. Focus on these aspects. So यहाँ मतलब क्या है, मतलब कोई चोरी थोड़ी करवा रहा है आपसे. तो one should not tell a lie. झूठ नहीं बोलना. तो फिर OLQ क्या सिखा रहे हैं फिर हम?
हाँ, और सर अगर आप झूठ भी बोलोगे तो इंटरव्यूअर कैन इजीली असेस यू. ही इज इंटरव्यूअर.
चेहरा तो बता देगा ना.
यस सर.
You know,
he will
your face
somehow
is your
able to
mirror.
get an idea.
Your face is your mirror. दर्पण है आपका चेहरा. आप जब झूठ बोलते हैं ना, चेहरा दिखा देता है गड़बड़ है, मैं झूठ बोल रहा हूँ. Right? So, were you questioned about coaching by the GTO also in the ground?
No sir. So only the interviewer asked me.
Fair enough. Fair enough. There's nothing to worry about coaching, and you know, if you have not been trained well, if you're not being coached well, obviously you will not make it. And if you have coached well and if you have put in your effort, I don't think anybody will stop you for this reason that you took coaching.
Yes, no one will.
So that's wonderful to hear from you. So thereafter you went for your medicals, and any TR or anything you got for medicals?
Sir, I got a TR for overweight. I was 5 kg overweight.
वो तो तुम ओवरवेट था ही यहाँ पे. मैंने शायद बोला भी होगा आपको.
Yes
नहीं
sir.
बोला?
Yes sir, बोला था.
हाँ, तो दौड़ो भागो, क्या है, ओवरवेट तो ठीक है, कम हो जाता है. तो अभी तो सब क्लियर है ना? योर मेडिकल्स आर क्लियर नाउ?
Yes sir, I reduced in the next 15 days and I cleared my medical also.
Wonderful. Very good. So there are going to be 72 Afpaians in NDA. Don't forget, and you know, all of you stay together as Afpaians. You are all Afpaians.
Yes,
And you know, जैसे सैनिक स्कूल का होता है ओल्ड बॉयज या सैनिक स्कूल का एक ग्रुप होता है, वैसे आपका का ग्रुप होना चाहिए. और आप लोग साथ में रहें, एक दूसरे का हाथ पकड़ के चले जिंदगी में. एंड यही एक मकसद था आफ्पा का, और ये आज साकार हो रहा है. I was in Naval Academy for the passing out parade of the first AFPA student who got recommended in 2018. That was for BTech Navy, and उसके POP में मैं अभी गया था. I was there on 28th of May, and I was so happy to see so many AFPA students there. So many AFPA students there. And it is very nice of these guys who recognized me and they came and met me. And you know, बड़ी खुशी की बात थी वो कि हमारे बच्चे अच्छा कर रहे हैं. Incidentally, this boy, the first AFPA student, he got the silver medal.
Yes, sir. I
He,
saw it on the post, Afpa post.
so he got silver medal and very good. So अब आपको पीछे पलट के देखने की जरूरत नहीं है. Now life is set. आगे आगे बढ़ो. NDA next 3 years it's going to be tough. Then 1 year IMA. Again it's going to be tough. But then ठीक है, it's worth it. You know, you become a man and you will be firmly into a career for all your life. Wearing the uniform with the stars is a different feeling altogether. I'm sure your parents must be very, very proud. How many brothers, sisters you are?
Sir, I have an elder sister.
Okay. So you are the only son and they have decided to send you to the defense services to serve the nation. That's a wonderful thought. And tell me, Sagar, what would be your advice to all the future defense aspirants? How should they go about living their day-to-day life so that they find SSB a cakewalk naturally?
Sir, my only advice to all the defense aspirants there will be that they should focus on their day-to-day activities. They should start living like an officer. If not like an officer, they should start inculcating somewhat about the OLQs. They should know what the OLQs are. They should inculcate in themselves, improve their knowledge base, because knowledge is the major factor. They have to observe what is going on their surroundings, because that will increase their imagination. And practical knowledge can only be implied by the everyday task. So one should be remain practical in his day-to-day everyday life also. So that will surely make a cakewalk, SSB a cakewalk for them.
Wonderful. Sagar, it was very, very nice talking to you. And in fact, I'm taking this interview after a long time. काफी दिनों से मैंने किसी success story का interview लिया नहीं. Lot of activities around my life. So you are maybe with you I will start taking more interviews and interact with more of these success stories because they act as an inspiration for others. They get to learn a few things from each one of your exposures, experiences. That only adds value to their life. So that's wonderful. So thank you very much for talking to us, and we are really, really proud that you have made it. And along with you, there are 71 more who will be joining you. All of them are there in the merit. And they are all well within the 400 marks. So I'm sure all of them will be joining the academy. Do convey our regards to your parents and thank you so much for interacting. And do not forget Afpa whenever possible, even after joining the NDA, if you visit Afpa and interact with the future lot of candidates, that will be wonderful to do. Right?
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
All the best, Sagar. We wish you good luck for the next 4 years. Keep yourself fit and enjoy the ragda. Ragda makes you tagada.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Bye-bye. God bless you.
Bye, sir. Thank you so much.